feeling about the way the team's responded so far this night in practice, and what kind of challenges does the Duke offense present?
Well, big question, double question. Okay, I think that they're really good shape. Going through, they're really excited about practice this week. They came out with good attitude yesterday. It was really good up-tempo practice today. We're trying to take a little bit of the banging off, but they just feel like it's one of those weeks that they want to hit a little bit more on. As for Duke, they're explosive everywhere on offense. You know what I mean? It all goes back to based off the run game. They got two extremely good backs that can both move and hit, and they're kind of different styles. You know what I mean? So you got to play them a little bit different. And at least to give the guys some awareness. Where 20 he can get in there and he can bounce and he can exert anywhere, and 4 is going to run the ball downhill at you. So they have a really good 1-2 punch that sets up their run game. After that, the quarterback's a dude now. He's been having a great year. He's thrown a ton of touchdowns and no interceptions at all. So he's a challenge, and they got good receivers. So it's overall, they're solid up front. They're a good team.
How pleased were you with the way your team came out against Delaware, focused and pretty much took care of business last Saturday?
Yeah, that was a good thing too. It's these guys really have accepted hey, this is how they want to do things. They embrace just the process of going through practice and preparing themselves, and then as they go out on the field, what happens is what happens. They understand that. So as long as we're all doing our job and we're doing it, then you hope that that's the kind of result that maybe when you're playing a non-Power 5 team, and so I think that their standard and the upperclassmen do a fantastic job holding the young guys accountable and not letting them, just do what you do. If you do what we do, we'll be okay.
Was there a little bit of a letdown once the Blue Wings scored a touchdown?
I don't think so. I think it kind of made the guys play a little hard. They were like, this is crazy. Let's go get up. And that was that was one of those things where communication error, and it kind of leads to whatever, and then it happens, and you say, okay, hey, get them back, calm down. This is what, and some of the guys are like, okay, then now we need to go even harder. So it was good.
Only allowing 2 touchdowns over the last 3 weeks. What lessons can the team take away and kind of take into this Saturday?
Really, what we've been doing a good job of is staying on top of routes. If you don't give up chunk plays on defense, then it's hard for the offense to score. If a team will go 12 or 15 plays and they score on that drive, you kind of say, hey, good job. You guys got us on that one, and we didn't have an opportunity to make a play, or they didn't mess up. A lot of times those are the things. You see when people score, it's because they're getting big chunk plays, and then especially if they get a chunk play and they score on the chunk, because then you don't even have an opportunity to play in the red zone. And it's just, hey, if we can keep doing that and keep saying, okay, not be as worried about, hey, well, we called this and then they got 5 yards. Well, no one really cares. You know what I mean? It's just another play, right? And even if they got a first down, well, no one really cares, because the things that people don't see are they took a big time shot over the top, and you're like, okay, well, we saved 45 yards on that play, even though they got 8. Okay, hey, that's a win for us,
Absolutely.
But they might move the chain. So as long as we continue to think like that and say, okay, hey, teams have to drive and they have to keep doing things right, and they won't mess up, and they don't allow us to make a play, you'd say, okay, we got a pretty good chance.
And Duke, against UNC this past weekend, had the game-winning play on a faked kick. How do you guys as a team just kind of prepare for that level of unpredictability and creativity in key moments like that, considering over the last kind of few years the Duke-Wake game has gone to, a one-possession game?
Yeah, I think everybody's got to be on it. When it boils it down to really a lot of things, it's just about doing your job on your play and having your eyes right and doing, your piece of the job, and those things kind of handle them. I'm sure there'll be some trick plays in there. I'm sure they'll do some and it does come down to close games. So the team that really plays with the most discipline and can do the mundane over and over, don't get tired of playing the same defense. Don't get tired of doing the same job. Don't go to look to hunt to make a play. Just when the one's coming, just tackle the guy, And that can win you a lot of games, just doing that.
It was to the point you were making about chunk play.